Hi everybody, this is Jeff, and I'm doing a cooking show here on Facebook as well as my YouTube channel. Earlier I was showing everybody how I make Native American Indian oven bread, and the format was in the vertical format instead of in the horizontal format, so it's gonna look kind of odd when I post this video. Sorry about that, guys. But no, I'm making Native American Indian oven bread. The time now is 11:28. I started making the bread about 8:30 tonight, so 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, 11:30. The dough's been rising for about 3 hours now. I'm sorry, my hand's getting in the way. But this is the dough that's been, let's see if you can, there we go. Sorry about that. As you can tell, it has almost quite ready to prepare for baking. So, but man, this is terrible. I don't have nobody to help me hold my camera. So bear with me. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, what I'm fixing to do, in the first video I posted, showed me mixing up the dry ingredients, and it was 5 pounds of flour, 1/4 cup of sugar, 2 tablespoons of salt, and 1/4 cup of lard, and you mix all the dry ingredients together, and then you add your water until you create a dough on that. Also, the flour I'm using is self-rising flour. My Aunt Millie, which is my dad's sister, she's Native American. She taught me this recipe back in the 1970s, so I'm predating myself, so you guys can figure out how old I am. Lord have mercy. Oh, it was about 1977 is when she told me how to make the Indian oven bread. Except the way the Indians make it, which she was Indian, they do it a little bit different than what I do. But I've adjusted the recipe to the way, with the ingredients I have. And also I'm baking mine in a regular stove, when in New Mexico on the Indian reservation they bake it in a horno, which is it is a oven made out of rock and mud, and then they put a fire in there and let it heat up, and it heats up for hours, and then they clean it out, and then they put the dough in there, and then cover up the hole and let it bake for hours. But I don't have that. So I have to use my oven, my stove oven, as you can tell. See, this is my stove oven right here. But that's the way my aunt made it, but I'm making mine the modern way in a gas stove. So okay, like I said, it's 5 pounds of flour. I use self-rising flour. It is 1/4 cup of regular sugar, 2 tablespoons of salt, and 1/4 cup of lard. Oh, and 1 packet of yeast. You can use the quick acting yeast or the regular yeast, but I use put the quick acting yeast in it tonight. But usually with the yeast, you just follow the instructions on the packet and it tells you how to mix it up in a cup of water. But you get all the ingredients mixed together, and then once you get the dry ingredients mixed together, and you add in your yeast, your liquid yeast, and then add in your warm water from your faucet, which I do, and you get the dough made. The deal is, it's hard to describe the way I cook bread and stuff, because I make it the old-fashioned way without measuring, and it's done by feel with your hands. It's just, with your hands, the texture you can tell, but it's hard to describe the texture. But like I said, this is what the dough looks like. So you can tell how, you know, how the dough is. That's the way you want your dough to come out, is like this. So it's a good texture. And it's been rising since 8:30. It is 11:32 right now. And so 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, 3 hours now. And it's already raised up. The way I do it, when I make the bread, I take the bread and the dough, and I cut it up like this way, divide it up into halves. I know this is giving me 4, but you want to get 5 out of this. So basically 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see if I can do 5. I can do one side like here, and one side like here to make it one loaf. But okay, I've got it divided now. But as you can tell, what I'm going to do, I'm going to get some flour. I'm going to sprinkle it on the shelf like this way. Get out my rolling pin. And gonna get my dough out. Hang on, you guys, I've got to put the camera down, so hopefully you guys will be able to see. Oh, sorry about that. Hopefully you guys will be able to see what I'm doing. If I can get the camera set without it falling over and breaking. Okay, I have to scrunch down. Okay, basically what I'm doing is, sorry about me having to scrunch down. Okay, got the dough, got me a chunk of dough. Remember the end pieces that I cut? The small end pieces that I cut? Okay, what I'm doing is I'm getting the dough right here, as you can tell. I'm rolling it in a ball like this way. And what I'm going to do, I'm gonna put it in the flour. I got it dusted a little bit. Then I'm making a slight little dent in the dough. And I'm making a little cut in it. You'll see in a minute how I did it. And I'm rolling it over. It's nice and pretty. And this is what it looks like. What I did was I took the dough, rolled it out, and I made a little small slit like this. You see it? That's the way the shapes. You can shape it any way you want to, but make sure you do it in sorry about that. My pizza pan, as I was telling everybody about, it's a non-grease pizza pan. But you shape it however you want to, but I usually shape it in loaves as best, and then I do the little cuts, and then I set it on the pizza pan. And then I take another chunk of dough, and let me get it cut some more. There we go. I'm going to do the same thing. Rolling it out like this way. See how I roll it under like this way in a ball? Do it like that. So I make a little ball. This way I do my bread. Make a little ball. Put some more flour down. If you guys can bear with me, I will move the camera and show you guys what I'm doing. Okay, so here we go. I'm left-handed and I keep reaching and blocking the camera. That's terrible of me. Okay, now do you see what I'm doing? Okay, I got the ball of dough, and what I'm doing with the rolling pin is I'm rolling it like this way, kind of rolling it down a little bit. You see how I'm rolling it down a little bit? Whoops, sorry. See how I'm rolling it down a little bit like this way. Keeping it a little fluffy. You want to keep it a little fluffy. So as you can tell, you see the thickness of it. And what I do is I take the knife like this way and I make a small little cut. See the small little cut? Like that way. Make that, and then I fold, oops, sorry. I fold it over like this. Make sure that cut goes through all the way, because you want the cut to go through. Fold it like this way. And, whoops. It's kind of odd. I didn't do it right. Hang on. Let me redo it. That's terrible. Oh, it's terrible when you don't have anybody to help you hold the camera. I gotta redo my job. Gotta re-roll it. But you get the general idea how I do it when I make the slit. Okay, I got it. I'm rolling the dough. But make sure you roll it enough so that it will fold properly. Or if not, you gotta have some weird looking bread. Okay, I've made the slit. Now I folded it over, divided it. There we go. Here we go. Can you see? There we go. It folded over just like this way, and you can tell it folds over like that. And then you place it on the pan. And you continue to do that for the remainder of the dough. So, when you do that, I've got, let's see, 3 more pieces to work with. I was originally just going to make 5 loaves, but I decided, I said, crap, I'm going to go ahead and make 10 loaves tonight because I'm fixing to have to go in and get neck surgery pretty soon. I'm still waiting on the doctor's office to call and set up the appointment. They'll be done in Tulsa. And it usually takes about 4 to 6 months before I get to come out of the neck brace. So I know I'm not going to feel like doing anything, especially baking. And so I decided I'm going to go ahead and get my bread making done now, so that all I have to do is put it in the deep freeze and then unthaw it when I want it, you know, for us to eat. And so, but I went ahead and made another batch of dough earlier after I did the first video. So I'm making 10 loaves tonight. But it's really delicious. Bread's really delicious. So hopefully my instructions will help you guys figure this out. And if you have any questions, all you have to do is, you know, contact me on Facebook. You know, message me on Facebook, and I'd be happy to explain things to you a little bit better if you decide you want to try this. And if you're local, like in the Enid area, you've had your COVID vaccine and all that good stuff, and you practice COVID-19 safety protocols, you know, I can show you in person at my home, you know, if you'd like me to show you how to do it. But, you know, we'll have to work on that. Okay. Getting this done now. Fixing the bread. But almost got it. Got on my last hunk of dough for the first 5 loaves. The other batch of dough is still rising, so it should be ready in another hour or so that I can start getting it ready to work on to make bread. So I'm getting it shaped now, but I try to make it as pretty as possible. But like I said, my oven's set at 350 degrees. Oh, sorry, let me wipe my hands off and I can show you what else I'm doing. Okay, here we go. See how my dough is fixed? My oven's at 350. Let's see if you can see the oven. See, 350 degrees. And then what I'm doing now is I'm making little holes like this way. See where I'm punching little holes in there so that air can escape. So, and also with the hose that I've got put in here, makes it easier to insert the thermometer in there so that when you check the internal temperature, which needs to be 190 degrees, you want your internal temperature to be 190 on that. So, okay, we're fixing to put it in the oven. Whew, that oven's hot. Hope I can hold this and insert this in the oven. There we go. It's in the oven, and I'm setting the timer for 1 hour. See if we can get it. I give it one hour, 1 minute. There we go. And it's counting down. So within an hour, the bread should be done. I'll check the internal temperature, and should be ready. And I'll give you guys a final video showing the bread. And you know, you want it to cool, cool overnight. And usually the way I cool it overnight is I get a like a tablecloth or something, an old tablecloth, and I set it on the table, and then I take the loaves off the baking pan, and I set it on that and let it cool overnight, cover it up, let it cool, and then the next day I package it up in Ziploc bags and then stick it in the freezer. But that's how you do it. So hopefully, like I said, the third video that I'm fixing to come up with. Sorry, guys, I don't have the software to do video editing, so the videos is kind of choppy. Sorry about that. But I just wanted to show you guys how to make the Native American Indian oven bread that they make in New Mexico on the Indian Reservation, which is Laguna Indian Reservation, that is, Laguna, Pueblo. I've got family out there that live in Laguna and also in Mesita, New Mexico, which is part of the Laguna Reservation. Got cousins living in Albuquerque and so forth and so on. My cousin Michelle Watuma, that lives in Albuquerque, years ago, she taught me how to make tortillas. So one of these days I'm going to do a tortilla making video. And then also I'm going to be showing you guys how to make Indian fry bread, you know. So I haven't done that project yet, but I'll work on that. But right now I'm working on the Indian oven bread, so stay tuned for those videos. Okay, I'm going to let this bake. It's going to be an hour, so I'll see you guys in about an hour then. Okay, take care. Bye now.